Good morning, I'm Kelsey. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. I am going to do another round of Vlogmas today. And today is just going to be my first book haul of 2023. I'm going to be going through books I got in December around Christmas time to today. My dog Gus is like right over here and he was sleeping behind me, but then he decided to be a naughty puppy and check out everything. Okay, so Gus might pop in and out. Disclaimer, yes, he's very skinny. Yes, we feed him. He has health issues and doesn't absorb the nutrients in his body the way he should. We're well aware he's skinny. Anyways, let's get started with my book stack. So I've got quite the haul here of books, and I have 3 books in my mailbox right now that I don't know how to get to because the post office shoved them in so tightly. Both my husband and I spent like 5 minutes trying to like pull them out. We ripped the book of the month box, and the other package, I have no idea what it is. So that's real fun. I left a sticky note in there. Hopefully I get those books. I know one of them is Take My Hand. I forget the title of the other book of the month I got. It was the Thief one, Women Girl Gang in London, I believe. So I'm pretty excited about that. But we'll see when I get those. I'm also supposed to have 2 Illumicrate boxes coming. They're super behind because they're having issues with their shipping center. I actually canceled my membership because I've been paying for books I haven't received, and that's just kind of bugging me. Those should be coming, I think they're supposed to ship this week, so I should be getting my November and December boxes here soon, and then January will be shipping before we know it. Okay, the first 2 books came from my husband, and one is the Supreme Court. It's these Penguin Civic Classics. It's Supreme Court decisions. They cover everything from government, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, civil rights, right of privacy, and it's excerpts from Supreme Court cases. So I am an attorney. I spent a ton of time studying the Constitution in law school. I wanted these in my collection because I find myself constantly looking up opinions for an explanation of what is going on currently in our world, and these are just excerpts, and I thought it'd be pretty on my shelf. Along that same line, I also got The Decisions and Dissents of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's my legal heroine, and I just love her. So I'm really excited my husband got these. I have the Federalist Papers. I don't know if you can see it up there at the very edge on the very top. So yeah, adding that to my collection. Okay, then I added this to my cart after reading Sprints and the year-end wrap-up with Gwen. Love Light Farms. I had this on Kindle Unlimited and had to return it, but then I decided I wanted to own it. I think the cover is really pretty. This is Christmas adjacent, but it's a romance about a Christmas tree farm owner who like needs to do a PR stunt to keep her business alive, and I think fake dates somebody. So this will be really fun to read throughout the winter. And then in 2022, I discovered Wendell Berry and his Port William membership, which is pretty much all that he writes, plus some poetry. So I got this for my sister-in-law for Christmas, Nathan Coulter. I have Hannah Coulter, which I read, and it was in my favorite books of the year. And I've been slowly trying to build up my collection of these books. They're pretty short, but they're just very quiet, character-driven novels. Then my most anticipated release of the year was A World of Curiosities by Louise Penny. You all know how much I love Louise Penny. So this is the newest release. The books are so gorgeous. They're so pretty. So it's the 18th book in the series. I will be reading these in February, more than likely. I received an advance review copy from, I feel this is like Graydon House. Yeah, but this was through HTP, and this is called The Sunshine Girls. The reason why I picked this is it's historical fiction about friendship over a lifetime, but it starts in 1967 in Iowa at nursing school. I'm an Iowan, so I was very intrigued by that. Essentially, there's these 2 girls. 50 years later, 2 estranged sisters are shocked when a famous movie star shows up at their mother's funeral. Over one roller coaster weekend, the women must reckon with a dazzling truth about their family that will alter their lives forever. And I just thought that that sounded really interesting. And then I have a new nephew coming, so hopefully my sister-in-law doesn't watch this. If she does, she knows how much we love these. So this is one of my favorite children's books. My son loves these. It's Let's Find Momo, and there's a few in the series, but it's essentially a board book that is Baby I Spy. I love it. So on the page, it gives you like 4 things to find, and then you have to find it in the picture. My son loves these. So this is just a really fun book to gift to new moms, to kids. My son is 2.5 and is really just now starting to really get the finding of things. So definitely recommend this if you have littles in your life. Next two books are also very anticipated reads for me. So Frederick Bachman's The Winners. I need to do a full Beartown series reread. This one is huge though. And I've heard it's pretty dark and depressing, but I love Frederick Bachman. I think he's a fantastic writer, and it's amazing that these are works in translation and they're so good. So I need to actually finish his backlist. I think I have 3 or 4 that I haven't read. Frederick Bachman is a go-to for me. And then probably my most anticipated romance, there's 2 this year. It's this one and then Knockout by Sarah MacLean, is Joanna Shupe's The Duke Gets Even. And this one follows Nellie Young, who's like an heiress, can do whatever she wants, and the Duke of Lockwood, who I believe is a duke who's just trying to marry for money to keep his estate alive in England. So I love historicals. Covers are salacious, but you know. And then I got this book from Grand Central Publishing. It's Liar, Dreamer, Thief by Maria Dong, and I just think this sounds fascinating. I'm actually going to get to this pretty shortly. A young woman's carefully constructed fantasy world implodes in this brilliantly conceived novel that blurs distinctions between right and wrong, comedy and tragedy, imagination and reality. Katrina Kim may be broke, the black sheep of her family, and slightly unhinged, but she isn't a stalker. So I don't know much about it. It just sounds fascinating. I'm seeing it a lot on like anticipated books. So I was really excited when Grand Central Pub sent this to me. And then Celadon is another publisher I work with, and they sent me Beyond That, the Sea. And it's historical fiction. It's a sweeping, tenderhearted love story. Beyond That, the Sea by Laura Spencer Ash introduces 2 families living through World War II on opposite sides of the Atlantic Ocean and the shy, irresistible young woman who will call them both her own. So as during the Blitz in Germany, she gets sent to America, and she's super mad, but she meets the Gregorys who fold her into their world. She adjusts to their affluent lifestyle and grows close to both of their sons. Before long, life in America feels more natural to her. As Bee comes into herself and relaxes into summers on the coast of Maine, the girl she had been fades away until abruptly she's called home to London when the war ends. Desperate not to leave the Gregorys behind, she retraces her trip across the Atlantic. As she returns to post-war London, the memory of her American family stays with her, never fully letting her go as she tries to move on, pursuing love and a life of her own. As we follow Bee over time navigating between her 2 worlds, Beyond That, the Sea emerges as a beautifully written, absorbing novel full of grace and heartache, forgiveness, understanding, loss, and love. I think this sounds so good, so I'm excited to read this. And then I was gifted the next 3 are all Christmas gifts. So I got The Very Good Gospel, How Everything Can Be Made Right by Lisa Sharon Harper. I love Lisa Sharon Harper and the work she's doing within Christianity to dismantle racism and all the things that are wrong in evangelicalism. So I just really am excited about this. Okay, and then Babel. I'm not going to say much, but I will say that I'm very excited about this. Most people have seen it by now. I'm just pumped that I got this from my brothers. And then the final one that I got, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So The Fall of Numenor from my brother by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is just a beautiful edition. Illustrated end pages. There's illustrations throughout, and these are just compiled by his son who took notes and edited them. And then Brian Shipley has been invited to compile them. So I am trying to read all the Lord of the Rings books this year, and this will just go into, because I want to read the Silmarillion. I want to read more about the Lord of the Rings universe. I will be rereading Lord of the Rings, but I think these would just be fun too to get more backstory. So those are all the books I've gotten. I should be getting an Illuma Crate box here soon, and then if I can ever get the books out of my mailbox, that would be cool. We'll keep you posted on that. But thanks again for stopping by for another day of Vlogmas. I have 2 more days left. Vlogging every day is very hard, especially when your computer doesn't want to comply and you have a 2.5-year-old. But they are now back to school and daycare, so my house is a little more quiet. But again, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.